The Wire is an American crime drama television series created by David Simon that aired on HBO from 2002 to 2008. Known for its realistic portrayal of urban life, the show explores the intricate and often interconnected systems at play in the city of Baltimore, Maryland. Across the 5 seasons of the show, the series explores the city's drug trade, the working class, political reform, the education and socio-economic divide. The series is praised for its deep character development, authentic dialogue, and social commentary, making it a powerful and thought-provoking piece of television. A quiet and unassuming old man, the Greek is in fact ruthless in his quest to make more money, representing muscular, unrestrained capitalism on steroids. Those who get in his way are swiftly eliminated, and the signature move of his organization is to leave murder victims headless and handless to make identification near impossible. The Greek's operations include importing sex workers, drugs and stolen goods through the Baltimore docks, through his man Spiros Vondas, and he is the main wholesaler of drugs in East Baltimore, allowing drug kingpin Proposition Joe to have the finest dope in town and thus exert opportunistic power over the likes of the Barksdales who have weaker product. The Greek is off radar to the cops for much of the season 2 dock investigations right up until the latter stages of the season, and he's so powerful he even has a relationship with the FBI as the agent Coutras sends him tips, as he did so when Frank Sobotka was going to testify against him. It's thought that this quid pro quo relationship involves the Greek supplying the feds with valuable information, perhaps terrorism, and there's even insinuations that the Greeks help move weapons and chemicals for shady organizations involved in international warfare and espionage. He is quite simply untouchable and completely out of the reach of the likes of Baltimore's finest like McNulty. And the icing on the cake is that after we learn so little facts about him over the course of the season, he drops the bombshell that he isn't even Greek. The cops never stood a chance. The Greeks are ghosts. They operate in the shadows, completely the opposite from the street where reputation is everything. Compare Marlo's "My name is my name" with Vondas's "My name is not my name." When the heat gets too hot, the Greeks simply leave Baltimore in the nick of time, though much of their business interests remain intact. Prop Joe still gets his drugs, with Vondas telling him there will be new people providing the re-ups, and the final episode of the season shows a fresh stock of women being unloaded. By the time season 5 rolls around and Marlo gets up in Prop Joe's wholesaler business, we see that the Greeks have returned to Baltimore and re-established their operations from the same restaurant they did so in season 2. Vondas is in season 4 talking to Joe and Marlo, and in season 5 the gang is back in the diner. Marlo goes through their man Sergey, who is in prison, and presumably he gives Marlo information on how to contact the Greeks. Either that or he told him the location of the restaurant where they operate. But why did the Greeks come back in the first place? And why on earth, after the huge investigation of season 2, did they set up shop in the exact same place they did before, when the cops know full well that this was their place of business? Aren't their faces plastered into every police database in Baltimore? Aren't Interpol after them now that they've left the US? Of course, perhaps the most asked question regarding the Greek, aside from what ethnicity and nationality he actually is why he chose Marlo over Proposition Joe. But this is something we've already talked extensively about in another video, so be sure to check it out, and while you do so, hit that subscribe button. But with the Greeks coming back to the exact same place, and how odd this is, could we simply chalk it up to poor writing? The Wire may be an unbelievably good show, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's immune to subpar writing. Maybe the writers just didn't think too hard about where the Greeks were and just needed them in the show for the Marlo and Prop Joe storyline. But in universe, it's always worth going back to the implication that the Greek is an asset. As he's feeding the feds info on criminal activity, he knows they'll look the other way and knows he cannot be got to. If he is somehow arrested because BD recognizes him and puts him in cuffs, he'll be out of the jail cell in no time with one quick call. When the Colombians didn't pay for their chemicals, the Greek grasped on them to Agent Coutras, and the feds found cocaine in the shipment. And on 2 separate occasions, Coutras gives the Greek a heads up when the heat's getting too hot. It's a similar relationship that Whitey Bulger had with the Boston police. He feeds them info that helps eliminate his rivals while they look the other way from his crimes. Although some fans might want to speculate that the Greek is not necessarily an asset in the classic sense, but that Kaltros is actually corrupt, a part of the Greeks' organization in the sense that maybe they've known each other a long time, they stayed in contact but grew up different lives, and now they help each other out. Anyway, by season 5, the feds have moved on from the port and from the drug cases. They're more focused on political corruption and terrorism by the time season 5 rolls around. So if anything, having the Greek in their corner works in their favour, but it also speaks to how unbothered they would be, how his movements and that of the comings and goings of the restaurant wouldn't be tracked. And then there's the Baltimore PD, so strapped of cash in season 5 that the major crimes unit is literally ordered to be shut down. And even evidence-wise, there's hardly anything on the Greek. The Wire shows us that people are human and the systems in place are inadequate. Nobody from season 2 was in command anymore at a department level, and people forget. Remember how Avon was released from jail and none of the primary characters even knew, and they only found out after Herc offhandedly recognized him? In the same way, people have moved on from the Greek. It's been years, so he can quietly slip back into his diner and remain under radar with a new identity as he does. The entire case would need to be rebuilt, and they'd need a new witness now that Frank Sabatka was dead. Nikki could provide info, but nobody is looking for the Greek anymore. Those who were involved, like Daniels, know that there was a leak in the FBI, and chances are if they managed to get a major case going against the Greek, the government would shut it down for quote-unquote national security reasons. That's how high we got to in the food chain with the Greek. The fact is, when all the parameters are considered, the Greeks are perfectly safe coming and going. They've literally got the Department of Homeland Security on their side. It's also worth adding that there is a scene where Herc and Carver are watching the diner and they miss Vondas leaving, so the cops might not even know that the diner is a place the Greeks frequent. And the fact is, the Greeks had business in Baltimore that never stopped. They need to be there. As late as the season 5 montage, we see the Greek and Spiros at the diner talking business with Slim Charles and Fat-Faced Rick. So the question isn't really why they came back. Whether in person or through intermediaries, the Greeks never left, and the showrunners could have chosen different characters to exchange with Marlo and the like in season 5, but that wouldn't have made for good television. Their organization is international, and they have shops set up all over. When things get hot, they simply pack up and leave, as they would have planned, and return later. One thing I have considered is that it isn't a case that the Greeks left in season 2, then quietly came back and do their business in the diner as they do. It may be that instead they only come in when they need to, that there is a system in place to call them. It's like when Marlo leaves the bartender the case full of cash. He would have gotten word to the Greeks. Then they come in to talk to this guy who's giving them money. And again later, when Marlo gives the co-op the connect, Slim and Rick would know what to do to get in touch with the Greeks, and then they would come in from wherever they are to the diner to discuss the import of dope. For sure in season 4, when we see Vondas, it looks like Prop Joe called in a favour and asked him to come in so he could sort out the Marlo situation. So maybe we're overthinking it and they came in when they needed to but left Baltimore straight after. Yes, perhaps it was unwise to go back to the same diner, but as mentioned, the Greek knew he was untouchable, and after being a clean front for years, it's unlikely the diner would still be monitored. So there you have it. What do you make of the Greek returning to Baltimore? Let me know in the comment section down below. Subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching.